Homeless man found a time capsule in the park, and what was inside changed his life forever. It was a cold night. James, a homeless man, was walking through the park looking for a dry place to sleep. He found some old newspapers on the ground and used them to block the wind and keep warm. As he placed the papers down on the grass, he suddenly felt something hard under the ground. It didn't feel like a rock. Curious, James moved the paper and started digging with his hands. Just a few inches down, he found a metal box. It was old and rusty. He pulled it out and opened it carefully. Inside was a sealed letter and a small notebook. The letter looked clean and untouched. James opened it and started reading. What he read changed his life forever. The letter was written by a man named Harold. He said he was 70 years old when he wrote it and had no family left. He had worked hard his whole life and saved every penny. But after losing his wife and only son, he no longer had anyone to leave his savings to. So he wrote the letter and buried a time capsule, hoping that someone in need would find it. In the letter, Harold explained that he had hidden his gold and savings in a wooden cabin deep in the forest. He even drew a simple map to show the exact location. James read the letter again and again. He couldn't believe it. He folded the paper, put it in his pocket, and decided to find the cabin. The next morning, he left the city and followed the map. It took him hours, walking through trees, mud, and silence. Finally, he found the cabin. It was old and broken. The windows were cracked. The door was hanging off its hinges. It looked like no one had been there for years. James stepped inside carefully. The floor creaked, and dust filled the air. In the corner of the room, under some wooden boards, he found a box. His hands shook as he opened it. Inside were gold coins, old cash, and personal papers from Harold. There were also photos of Harold smiling, fishing, and sitting by the cabin fireplace. Tears filled James's eyes. The man in the letter had been real, and he had trusted a stranger with everything. James used the money to turn his life around, but he didn't stop there. He bought a small building in the city and turned it into a shelter for homeless people. He gave them warm meals, clean beds, and helped to find jobs. He named the shelter Harold's Place. Every day, James remembered where he came from. He talked to the people who walked in lost and cold, just like he once was. And he told them about the night he found a time capsule in the park, and how one man's letter gave him a second chance. James never forgot that feeling. He knew now that even one kind act, even from someone long gone, could change the world for someone else.